Josh Lambo now ready to put this one in the air. And off we go from Jacksonville. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly. Yeah,
usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now a handoff working right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think in this one, this is probably good scouting. Understanding a few tendencies and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot. And they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
7 yards to go on second down.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jackson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Let's go!
Now a handoff as they run left side. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completion left side to Miller. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They run the counter now on first down. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. And the Patriots are out to an early lead there over the Jets. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Looking to throw. They find some open field here. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Play fake. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Nortman on to kick as he sends it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now here's a carry heading left. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambo will put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Miller. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got room. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
But feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now back to throw. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy.
Here we go. Green 39. Green.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Christian Covington busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up a throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put him in the lead.
They'll look to throw here. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fleming. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They're going to look to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Texans send the punter out. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Jaguars are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Texans didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Texans open up on offense. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Jaguars take advantage and return it for a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. Third down from the 40. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This will go for a loss of 7. Second and 2 coming up. Defense will get to the QB here. This goes for a loss of 9. First and 10. Defense is going to come away with a sack. This ends up as a loss of 9. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
This is taken at the 3. There's a nice move. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. And the Patriots are out to an early lead there over the Jets. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The penalty on first down backs him up 5. It's now first down at 15.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to second and 11.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Tried to get it on the edge there, but there was no seal, nowhere to go, had to step out.
Yeah, sometimes the defense just wins those battles because ordinarily the guy setting the edge, offensive tackle, tight end, H-back, someone of that caliber, wasn't there on that play. Defense wins it in a big way. No gain at all for the offense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw here. And some room to roam now. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Here's Brad Nordman now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. His throw incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And that'll make it 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to the QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And some room to work. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. Give him 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he's brought down. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll set up to throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss.
The Jaguars on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Green.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he fires one incomplete.
Got an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Fleming. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
They'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And some space here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville.
Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Room here to run. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Going to give this time to the tailback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had two previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. 3 yards to go here on second down.
Watching now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. The Jaguars on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5. Quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletic.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Pulled in at the 24. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a handoff as they run left side. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And the play clock's running down. Twisting away. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. Time running out here on the play clock. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Peters. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He's back to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. Finding some room at midfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. They'll drop to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get in that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Texans, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.